God is the author of freedom, justice, and equity. God is the author of life. And no soul can come to life without his permission. And he's also is the author of death. And none of us can die without his permission. The God of righteousness calls us to live and be at peace amongst each other. For my brothers and sisters, I said it before that we are facing a terrible time. That you must decide what to do. Your decision is, brothers, is not being integrated from the enemy that wants to deceive you, the arch deceiver. So, brothers, this is a time that you must not be asleep like a sleeping baby, but this is a time that you must awaken at the time of this hour that you are in. I said that Jesus gave a simple parable of the hour, just like when the master had leave and he hires an employer to come to see how well the employees is doing. So don't let the master come in, because most of the time the employer would not be warned of the day or the hour of the master return. So this is a time which is not taken lightly. This is a terrible time you living in, that you must decide that God is already setting you in his kingdom. Decide what the God you're going to serve. Are you going to serve the God that you've been serving, that was in your congregation, a pastor that didn't lead you to a true salvation that God offered you at once? Are you going to get out of the slave masters and his children's teachings that they gave you? See, Jesus had said, beware of the false Christs and false messiahs, the Antichrist. But brothers, as long as our forefather was given some good fried chicken, biscuit, with a little butter as an introducement to preach to his brothers on a Sunday morning, and you take it as being called reverend, as something special, but they call you reverend. You know why you been called a reverend. But you are a reverend of them, a father, a reverend. Just to enjoy, what they give you, not to preach and tell the world that they are not devils, and to remain in the falsehood of teachings that the people will have. See, brothers, you've been captured of these slavery teachings, because I say to you, 300 years they took up the Bible, you couldn't study, you couldn't read it. So, in other words, they couldn't give you the name of your God. So you've been falling on false religions. You know, you don't have a religion. Now a lot of people won't submit into the Islam because Islam is entire submission to Allah's will. You know, many people won't even put the time into studying other different religions, especially the religion that is giving us hope that God is offering the only true God, Allah. There's no hope in any other religion that they enslave you in, that you still enslave in. Except in Allah and seeking refuge to seek. The black man and woman must seek who he is and who he are in this time, that this is freedom, justice, and equity that God is offering you. See, my brothers, the white man's not going to offer you any kind of your freedom and justice. See, you get injustice. See, the brutality, the lynching, the killing without any thought of justice. But brothers, you get injustice. So God is offering you that the meek will inherit the earth. See, there's no time, brothers, to be playing with God. Can't play with God. See, our people in the world are suffering, but they need a strong advocate to lead them with the truth. Not a lot of people are speaking the truth. So you get left behind, brothers, with no truth in the time of this hour that we are in. The God finna bring in total destruction on America for what she have done. America time is up and ruling. If you see, even the new president we have, with all due respect, we planning on a new president to reach a black man's civilization, or reach a black man his rights. So this is a time, you know, that we must pay close attention of our surroundings, close attention to this presidency. Because we have greater rights than any one of this American country. But we suffer the mistreatment, the lynching, the burning of our flesh, and laughing and making a mockery on us as they made mockery and laughed at ourselves being burned. This is one of the most heinous of acts that America can even have a mind in doing. This was like Moloch burning, making sacrifice to their gods, as the enemy doing throughout America today. See, Satan couldn't have the things of God, so he decided I would deceive the entire earth. And so, you know, in this big oralization congregation, they meet up every annual, and every celebration. These Jewish and people meet up, and they take homage of what they do to go out and deceive the entire world, whether it's in the political, educational, spiritual, cultural, the economic, legal. They find every way to deceive us. And we are at the time that you can exchange your soul for any kind of wealth in this time. I give you this where Jesus left a parable. There was a rich man and a poor man, Lazarus. The poor man represents the black man throughout America, that white America never gave the black man anything, as this poor man, Lazarus, was getting ready to be sitting in heaven. And the rich man was so in the point that he was tormented to death at a point that he is going to where he belongs, and that is to a hell, a very hot, where the furnace is always quenching and burning. So he was going to a hot place, my brothers and sisters. But he wanted to meet Lazarus to ease his pain, his torment, so he can get comfort to being and seeing what heaven may look like if he can just have a little drip to ease his torment from Lazarus. Because Lazarus already, and like I said, my brothers, no one gave the black man throughout America a thing that we looking to have, that we deserve to have money. We deserve to have the finest thing. We deserve to have these things. But no one came to our aid, as no one came to the aid of Lazarus, this poor man. So I want to say this is a parable and warning to how America been treating the black man throughout America. As another parable Jesus gave, what rich man that can forfeit his soul to offer his riches for the kingdom of heaven? He couldn't offer any of his wealth because he was so sadly that he couldn't give up his wealth in his time. Because he felt, I will be just walking away without anything to follow you, and I should have treasures that's in heaven. See, rich man don't believe in that. So it is with America. They think that by counting the things that they got, their wealth and things that they can live on and live comfortable and take life ease, and decide to decorate their new mansions and things like that in this time. It was in the chapter of Luke 16, my brothers, that the rich man thought that I decided to take life at ease, build bigger barns, and this was a rich fool to have that kind of mindset, as his life would be demanding in the hour. As anybody think that they can have all fine things and wealth, your life will be demanded to you on this hour. Just as the rich man decided to take his life and be at ease and be comfortable with life. So I say to you, my brothers, nothing in this time is going to save you for the judgment. Wealthy person think that he can live through his wealth, counting all the wealth he have. One of the poor mistakes that man can even make. Can't decide to have two masters. You're going to either serve God, who is your creator, who is forever praised, or you're going to serve the dollar that is dying value. Each and every year is dying value. We need money to pay rent, pay utilities, pay car notes, pay these things. But money is a root of all evil when you destined to be rich and things like that, and don't give God his praise and don't live up to the height and standards. Because a man that is wealthy and rich, he cannot even know the kingdom of heaven, to know what it's like to forfeit the things he have and to follow the only one that God sent, and that you will have treasures. See, he don't know how. See, brothers, you don't know how to become rich just yet. How to give some of that back. We want cars and jewelry. We want the finest things and what money can buy. But brothers, when you're not giving that back to your people, this is how God tests you. See, you blessed, brother. But we walk over one another, especially there are people that's desperate in need, that you see every day, that you see out there. And we got problems going to our own people, helping our people in these times. God is love, brothers, and he loves us. So now, brothers, this is the love God has for you, to love others as he loved you. The greater love and the greater commandment, as Jesus laid down his life. But it's hard to get someone to lay down their life for their own truly friend. I say this, and I want to say this before I leave out. Brothers, you didn't lay down your life for your brother. Even when you choose to live a life game banging, you lay down your life for your brothers. But lay your life in the righteous way. See, you won't catch a bullet for your brother if he wasn't in the game. If he was just one this innocent, then had nothing to do with being in the game. You know, I seen those innocent ones leave the face of this earth, because there's not a lot of people will die for an innocent, but you would die for a person that committed murder, a person that been out in the world, put in some work, as you solely say. And you would die for that person than dying for a brother that didn't know nothing about the way and life of gang banging, didn't know any of that kind of lifestyle. But you guys would die for each other. You know, how sad in the country of America that the gospel is being preached every 24 hours, 7 days a week. And now look at the problems and issues we have throughout America. I don't condemn anyone. I don't condemn pastor. I love pastors that speaking truth, but we do not address problems that's going on in our society, in our youth, in our community, that the black man and woman is having, other different minority people may be having, that we don't speak up and address problems that's going on. I think we should let the world know that we all are tired and that we all facing problems each and every day of our life. So I say, brothers, may God find peace and peace be amongst you. May God dwell amongst you, and his love always been amongst you. Let us have a loving heart, a godly heart that God will want us to have in these times.